Hello, my name is Jonathan Bailey, and it is my massive pleasure to introduce this FYSEE panel on Bridgerton. You get to share this moment with our amazing cast and some of the creatives. Thank you to the Television Academy membership for creating this moment to talk about the surreal impact that Bridgerton has had globally, and yeah, to enjoy talking about the creative process. You're in for a real treat with these guys.
Everyone, please welcome to the stage actress and host, Yvette Nicole Brown.
Hey! Hi, everybody! Thank you. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? I need some sound. Hey! There it is. First, I want to show off my beautiful Bridgerton-inspired rose dress. Thank you. All right, guys, listen, I am overjoyed to be here. I want you to know that I got this gig because I'm a fan. Fandom is important. I was tweeting about my love of the second season, and they said, "You want to come moderate?" I said, "Yes, I do." So I am here with all of you, and let's get these wonderful people out here. I am super excited to be moderating this for your consideration panel for Netflix and Shondaland's critically acclaimed fan favorite drama. Say it with me, Bridgerton! Woo! All right. Let's meet this amazingly talented, creative group of glorious people. Please welcome first, Emmy and Oscar-nominated composer, Kris Bowers. Come on, Kris. So handsome. Just had a little baby. Him and his wife. His wife did it. Okay. Up next is costume designer. She made all these beautiful, wonderful dresses. Sophie Canale. Hi, So. Looking cute in those checkers. I see you, girl. Next, we have this amazing trio of talented actresses. First up, she is the one who brings the winsome yet formidable Edwina Sharma to life. Charithra Chandran. Come on, baby girl. Look at this outfit. Y'all better take a moment with this outfit. Let her know. Let her know. Let her know. Next is the talented wonder who makes the principled and fierce Kate Sharma so much fun to watch. Welcome, Simone-Ashley! She's as tall as I think I am. It's all lies. I'm not that tall. This next person is someone that I personally root for more than anyone, even in my real life. She plays the witty, the loyal, the whistle-downing joy, Penelope Featherington, Nicola Coughlan! Y'all better get this green dress and these pink shoes. Get this green dress and these pink shoes. Yes, come on in, cute little thing. Okay, and last but not least, we have the creator, executive producer, showrunner, and writer, Chris Van Dusen. Where are you? He's on that, look at, ooh, there he is. Hello, handsome. Hello, handsome.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, well, listen, this is the wonderful creators behind this show, some of the wonderful people. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to start with Chris, not you, Oscar nominee, the other Chris, the one that created this wonderful experience for us. First of all, huge congrats, Chris, on Bridgerton Season 2 is now the best first season in viewership. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
There it is. Okay, so this season brought more of the Bridgerton family drama. Can you talk about your writing process and keeping it fresh when creating a show that has been such an international sensation, Chris?
Yeah, I think what was important for me going into season 2 was making sure that all the magic the world fell in love with our first time around was not just still there, but also there in a new and exciting way. And I think the way this series has been set up allows us to do exactly that, as far as having this beautiful, familiar world we're fully immersed in, but also bringing in new characters and new romances and new stories season after season. And this year, we got to introduce the fabulous Sharma family and switch our central romance to this incredibly fraught and sexy enemies to lovers love story, which was quite different than what we had in season 1. And for me, I'd say that's been the joy of creating this show. I tried really hard to write the second season in a bit of a bubble, as far as, trying my best to tune out the whole international sensation, worldwide phenomenon part of it. But this show, it really was everywhere I looked, and the expectations and the opinions about it, it was coming to me from all sides, whether that was my own mother or my now 4-year-old daughter who just wanted to be sure she'd still see a queen in season 2. So Yes, this season ended up being, even bigger than season one. So I think there's something to be said for embracing all the pressure and expectation and using it to make the best show you possibly can.
Simone and Charithra, what was it like joining a show that was already this huge? Tell me what that was like walking on set the very first time. You're like, I'm on Bridgerton. How did you feel?
I guess I fell in love with the relationship between the two sisters and Kate and Anthony's relationship. So there was a massive part of me where I was just so engrossed in that side of it all. And the chemistry that Kate and Anthony have, that Johnny and I have, it gave me so much confidence walking into it. And I just remember the first day filming, we were filming episode 2, The Racers actually, and it was a really sunny day, and it was a lot of us all in, which I think is what helped. It was a really big ensemble scene. From my chemistry reads with Johnny, that just fed me so much confidence going into this, knowing it's going to be obviously so much effort and work put into it, but there's that sense of once you're on set, you just let it go. And I felt very liberated. And with such generous actors to just react off, and beautiful costumes where you don't have to think about all of those things. You just fit into it. You're in the corset. You find the posture. We worked so hard on an accent for the Sharma family with Jane Karen, our amazing accent coach. And we had so much fun, genuinely. Yeah. I just remember by the end of that day, let alone that week, it was like, is this what it's going to be like for the next 10 to 11 months? Yes. Then, yeah. It was one of the best experiences of my life. Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I think, we can all sort of understand joining a popular show, but Bridgerton is like a cultural zeitgeist. It's so much more than a show. It's just like a social phenomenon. It was nerve-wracking and exciting for the exact same reasons. And coming onto it is such a grand production with so many people involved. But like within the first few hours of our first day, everyone made us feel so welcome and comfortable. And although there are hundreds of people on set, it feels strangely intimate, and you're just so focused on delivering the scene at hand. I also think that, we were filming during COVID, so like our work family became our family. And so I think that situation made us develop more personal and intimate relationships than we may have otherwise, who knows. For all those reasons, it was super nerve-wracking, but we settled in, I think, very, very quickly.
Yes. Nicola, I'm a huge fan of yours. I can't even look at you right now, as I love you so. But I'm going to try to...
Don't pretend I didn't grab you and be like, I love Community much. I've seen it 7,000 times.
And I was like, how do you know I exist? How? Okay, so at the end of the season, the first season, we found out that Penelope is actually Lady Whistledown. Yes, it was a wonderful twist. I enjoyed it. Your Penelope has so many layers. You get to play betrayal. You get to play unrequited love. What has it been like for you to take this ride with this character for these 2 seasons?
Well, in season 1, you see her as this wallflower and you think, oh, I get who that girl is. And then at the very last minute, you go, hang on a minute. You were doing, whoa, you little. So it was exciting coming into season 2, knowing I get to play all of that. And every day was a new challenge with her, because she's either, the wallflower, or she's this businesswoman, or she's a bratty teenager, or she is someone who's like a lovesick puppy. So as an actor, it's what you pray for, because it's something different all the time with her. But yeah, she's a complex little lady.
It takes a complex actor to be able to do it too. I'm gonna tell you that much. Yes. Everybody's so talented on this dais. Okay, Chris.
Yeah, hey.
The music in Bridgerton is so iconic. I remember watching, and a song will be playing, and you're tapping your toe, and you're like, wait a minute, that's Material Girl from Silly. You know what I mean? So what has that experience been like? Are you the one that decides, I'm going to find this great this current song and make it Bridgerton-like, or what's the process like coming up with this wonderful music?
Yeah, so I can't take credit for a lot of the pop covers that are in there. That's the music supervisor. This season was Justin Camps. First season was Alex Patsavas. And
let's talk about your score then. Your amazing
that's the thing.
score,
I feel like
Kris
most of the time people are like, "Oh, you do the music for Bridgerton? Do you do that bad guy cover?" And I was like, "No, that's not me."
Let me tell you something. When your music is so good, it just goes by and it just feeds your spirit. That's what's happening. It's feeding spirits. Go and talk about your score.
But yeah, for me, I mean, the process is really just focusing on, for me, starting with a moment that speaks to me most viscerally and coming up with a theme that I can then build throughout the season. And for this season, it was really fun to look at different characters and different story arcs from season 1, and especially with like Kate and Anthony's theme, and thinking about how that would develop through the course of this whole season. And usually I'll like start with a feeling of it that feels like it encompasses at least the majority of what that feels like, and then figure out how to weave that through different emotional changes in the season. And so for Kate and Anthony's theme, for example, I wrote that really almost like a tragic kind of piece of music, because for me, I first thought about this story, I was like, there's no way this plays out in a positive way, or there's no way like somebody's not hurt by this at some point. And so the first iteration of their theme is this like dark kind of tragic thing, but then at some point I obviously knew that it would get to be this like emotional release. And so finding some sort of way to create these themes that can have these different emotional arcs and moments throughout the season, and this season was really fun to play with that theme, and knowing that Penelope is Lady Whistledown, and figuring out how to play Penelope as Penelope, and also Penelope as Lady Whistledown, and Lady Whistledown as her own character, and how to figure out how to have these themes play throughout the series in a way that can connect us to these characters in a different way.
Is it true that you played on some of the cover songs? That's what I heard.
Yeah. So I play piano. That's my main instrument. So yeah, all the piano playing is me, and the Material Girl, like the harpsichord, that's me. Yeah.
See, y'all thought I didn't know what I was talking about when I said Material Girl. Y'all better listen. I do my research. Okay. Hi, Sophie.
Hey.
Okay, Sophie, these costumes, girl. They are so beautiful, so elegant, and I noticed there's a line in there where certain families can afford the silks, certain families are getting it. Featherington's having a moment, so they need some cotton right now. And I noticed, like as I'm watching the show, I'm like, Penelope's in cotton right now. This is not the silky stuff. So what were your notable influences as you're creating this? And I have a question, like how many different gowns do you create for each of these actresses? Like there's so many gowns.
Yeah, there's a lot of costumes.
Yeah.
For the men as well.
Yeah.
I think we average about 150 costumes every 6 weeks we make. So yeah, we have the team are incredible. They're artists. The craftsmanship is unreal. I think we kind of gauge about 40 costumes for each principal women for the whole kind of show. So yeah, and averaging between, I would say, 8 to 28 days to make a dress, you know, depending on the embellishment and how much work goes into it. Obviously, the ball dresses are a lot more work than the day dresses.
What inspires you? Like, do you look at the actress and go, she should be in plum? I notice you wear a lot of purples and eggplants, and you're in a lot of pinks. So is every character have a certain color scheme, or how do you decide?
Yeah, so I worked on season 1 as an assistant costume designer. So Ellen and John created this world of Bridgerton where you had the pastel shades in the Bridgerton family, the citrus in the Featherington. And I wanted to, I wasn't changing the wheel. The beautiful Bridgerton world was there. So when the Sharma family came in, I wanted to kind of give them their own color palette. And looking at emerald colors from the jewel tones of India, I really wanted to push that forward, especially with Kate's character. Kate's on a journey throughout. You see her with a heavyweight fabric as we start in season 1 with darker colors, and she becomes lighter as you go through and kind of understand your character more and lighten up. And as she is falling in love with Anthony. There's the use of fabrics, the colors also give an emotion in the same way Kris says that you use those elements to kind of really portray how the character feels.
Wonderful. I see it. It's just, oh. Okay, Kris, not the music Kris, the showrunner Kris. Hi, Kris. Each scene is this amazing combination of visual magic and sound. It's all just so amazing. As you're creating, is there a certain character that you love to write for more, and has that changed from season to season? Do you have a muse or muses?
Honestly, I love writing for all these characters for really different reasons. And, the underlying narrative arc of the entire show is really this question of whether love can conquer all. And season 2 looks at that question through the lens of familial duty. And you especially see that with what's happening with Anthony and Kate this season, and with such obscenely talented actors writing scenes for the two of them. It's been such a privilege. And I could write those kinds of supercharged and deeply emotional scenes all day. And I love that. But then, of course, there are the scenes we get to write on the show, like making Jonathan Bailey fall into a lake in a very tight, very wet white shirt, or
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
making him sit in hot steaming baths all day and utter his now infamous line about, being the bane of my existence, the object of all my desires. Those, I would say, are also some pretty good times, speaking from a writer's perspective. And then watching Johnny do them and say them, which always somehow manages to be, 100 times better than I ever thought they'd be. Those are all personal favorites, but I'm also not sure if anything in my career will ever come close to writing lines for Dame Julie Andrews and coming up with really snarky, borderline bitchy things for Julie Andrews to say. And then hearing her say them in her most signature, bright Julie Andrews kind of way, that has really been everything. So clearly I love that too.
I'll bet. That's wonderful. You two play sisters. I believe it. I believe that you grew up together and you've known each other your whole lives. So how did you guys take time before the season to go, let's just hang out for a couple of weeks? Or did you just get on set and just act?
We didn't have
Thanks,
much
Chris.
time
I'll be here all week.
prior to filming. We kind of just went straight into it.
Really?
Yeah, we had one rehearsal. But I mean, I can't speak for Charithra, but most of the time getting to know Charithra, whether I was just speaking with her directly or kind of just observing her and how she works, was on the makeup truck. And we worked with our amazing hair and makeup team, Jessie and Farida and
Shout 'em out.
Erica. And, Charithra would be playing songs and we'd be in the chair at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., getting ready for the day, talking about the scene, going through our lines. And then that to me, I don't have a sister in real life. So that was something, that moment for me, I was always incredibly observant with how I felt, how I was relating with Charithra, always listening to her, because the makeup bus is a very safe space, I think, for an actor. And it's an incredibly intimate space. And that for me was, I always say this, and I'll continue to say it, Kate learned so much from Edwina, and I learned so much from Charithra. No, honestly, and that for me was the development of this sisterly relationship. And I think it's what we see in all of the female relationships within this show. The conflict, the contrasting opinions between women, not being able to relate, being able to relate, but at the end, it always concludes to, we're united. So yeah, I mean, I think I've gone around the question, but yeah, to answer simply, we went kind of straight to set. We didn't really have much time to rehearse in between, but that for me was how I developed that kind of sisterly bond.
I think I agree with everything Simone said. We didn't really have much time, and also COVID meant we couldn't actually meet in person unless absolutely necessary. And I think that we really benefited from sort of a natural chemistry that we shared with also Shelley Conn, who plays Mary Sharma. And I remember one day, maybe like midway through block 1, so about 4 weeks into shooting season 2, a wonderful supporting artist came up to the three of us and said, so how long have you guys known each other? And we were like, 4 weeks. It's not too long. And he was like, it feels like you guys have known each other for years. And I think I'm so grateful that we just kind of had those natural relationships. And also, like, when you're filming a TV show like Bridgerton, there is just a lot of downtime. And so you kind of naturally develop a relationship over time, spending the moments in between takes. And generally, the whole cast and crew is like a family. We're really, really lucky. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward, actually, for us, I think.
Well, it shows up on screen 100%. Chris, music Chris. Yeah. Chris with a K. Do you have a favorite piece of music from this season?
That's really tough. I feel like, Kate and Anthony's theme is definitely a favorite just because of how much it goes through these different emotional ups and downs throughout the season. I'd say a lot of music in episode 1 was a lot of fun. There's a cue called Sharpening My Knives, which is the reintroduction of Lady Whistledown's theme. And Lady Whistledown's theme is like one of my favorite themes from the show. And so it was fun to kind of like reinvent that theme and also to turn that into something else once we come to see Penelope as Lady Whistledown. And also there's a cue called accidental eavesdropping, when it's the first ball and it's Kate hearing Anthony talk about, how he feels. And that was a lot of fun because the cue has to act as this piece of music that they're dancing to, but also kind of comment emotionally on this moment that's happening outside. And then I'd say the real work begins, which is a cue that plays when Anthony and Edwina have their first dance. And it's just kind of charged with a lot of the context that we have as an audience going into that moment. So I feel like those are some of my favorites this season.
Thank you. Nicola, how do you think your character Penelope has changed and developed throughout season 2? And what do you admire about her? And what advice would you give her?
Stop lying would be my first bit of
She lies a
advice.
lot. She lies a lot.
Like, you're going to get very stressed out by all this lying, Penelope, would be my first thing. I think I always describe season 2 as her Britney Spears season. She's not a girl, not yet a woman, I think she thinks she's far more, because she's really smart, right? But she's not got street smarts.
Right.
So she's like, I'm the puppet master and I could do all of this. And then it's all sort of falling apart around her. I think what I like about her, and it's something I've sort of realized through this season, is her unapologetic ambition. Because, she's very conflicted in a lot of ways, but when she's in Whistledown mode, she goes, I'm a businesswoman, I'm doing this, I'm really good at it, and I'm going to figure out how to make that happen. And I went, that's really cool. Because also it was so unusual for a woman of that time to have her own business and to be able to navigate all of that. So I love that about her. I also love how much she loves. When you see her with Eloise and with Colin, she deeply loves them both so much. But what I also like conversely is, and it's a running theme with Chandran characters, they're not afraid to make women unlikable sometimes.
Love it.
Yeah. Because why do women always have to be nice?
Why?
No one was like, if only Walter White was a bit softer, we could really we don't need to do that. We shouldn't need to do that for women.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. This, what I love about this show, I love a lot of things about this show, but one of the main things I love is how women are written. Every version of us is seen. All of our foibles, everything that's great, everything that's scary, it's all there. And anyone taking the ride can pick a character and go, that's me today.
100%.
Right?
And also women not of one age.
Come on.
Not of one color.
Come
all
on.
of those things. That's this show. I'm so proud of it. in that
Yes.
respect
Y'all
because-
better clap for that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing. Yes. Sophie, can you speak to us about how all the other departments work together, like hair and makeup and wardrobe, how you all come together to create a look for the show and for each individual character?
I think it all comes down to communication and having Kris as a great leader to be able to communicate and kind of then Will Hugh Jones, who's the production designer, I would communicate with a lot about the color of the set. So then we're making sure that the costumes are working within those environments. Also, Erica, hair and makeup designer, incredible woman, who it's a really kind of, we want to make everyone look and work together. So it's all down to communication. And, Jeff Dure, who's the DOP, we had such a great relationship in having an understanding from my point of view of how lighting works with costumes. So it's all about being on the same page and knowing what Chris's vision is as well.
Kris, showrunner, is there something that you'd like all of us to know about Bridgerton season 2 that's special, that means something to you? Just give us a word from you. I want a word from you about this wonderful season.
Inclusive.
Yes.
Transcendent. I think those are 2 words, I know.
Give me a few, Kris. Give me a few words.
I don't think Bridgerton would be Bridgerton without the colorful world that the show is set in. And it's a multi-hued and multi-ethnic and beautiful world. And it's for a modern audience at the end of the day. And so we wanted modern audiences to relate to it, which meant that we wanted anyone to be able to see themselves reflected up on that screen. And the show was always going to reflect the world that we live in today. And in season 2, I wanted to further build upon that and expand that. And I think we did that with the introduction of the Sharmas. And what we're saying at the end of the day with this show is that we're giving everyone a voice and we're allowing everyone, no matter where you're from, happily ever after. And these are not stories about violence or trauma or things like that. These are stories about romance and love. And what we're saying is that everyone is worthy and capable of having those very things.
Kris. Yes. Yes. Well, listen, we're winding down, but I couldn't possibly end without giving Lady Whistledown the last word. Nicola, is there something that you'd like to share with us about season 3?
So, like Lady Whistledown, I have been keeping a secret
Tell us more.
for quite some time. And I can confirm to you all, I'm so nervous.
I'm nervous too, and I know what it is. Go, girl, go.
I can confirm to you all that season 3 is Colin and Penelope's love story.
We're calling them pollen. We're calling them pollen.
I have kept that secret from like 2 weeks into season 2.
Get out of here.
Yeah, this is the first time I've said
Her
it.
little eyes are misting up, everybody. Her little eyes are misting up. So how do you feel about this news? I'm so excited, but this isn't about me. How do you feel?
Terrified. It's crazy.
Are you terrified? Let's talk about it.
It's scary. I mean, I was chatting earlier. I was saying that, you know, Colin and Penelope are like the Ross and Rachel of Bridgerton, but Penelope's Ross. You know, she's like desperately in love. He has no idea, and I mean, Luke Newton's not here, but I mean, what a sweetheart, what a gorgeous scene partner. I mean, also even more awkward that I've known him for like 3 years. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Okay. Think about all the scenes we have to shoot, but I have had the run through of the whole season, and it is incredible. I'm so excited. We start shooting really soon, so yeah.
I feel like my dreams have come true in this moment. I've been rooting for you all, and I'm glad that he's finally going to come around because he got on my nerves this season. He really did, made me very upset. Well, listen, I thank you all for coming to my personal dream today, getting to talk to all these wonderful people. I wish you all the best during Emmy season. I hope that some really great things happen for all of you. You're so talented. I want to thank you all for coming. Did you enjoy? All right, thank you. And season 3 is going to be really great.